Hi guys, my name is Talia. Thank you for joining me. This class will be all about legs and mostly hips. So if you're a runner or do a lot of work on your legs, or if you have stiff hips and lower back pain that comes from stiff hips, I do recommend you take this class as often as possible. We're going to start sitting on our butt. Lean onto your hands, bend your knees, lift your toes up, and start to move the knees side to side. Windshield wiper your knees to one side and to the other. Make sure that you keep your toes flexed to protect your knee and that you feel the sensation in your outer hip, maybe even lower back, but not your knee, not your inner knee. And keep windshield wipering side to side at your own pace. You can go faster or slower than I do. And then extend your left leg. Fold your right knee, put the foot on your left thigh and start to bounce the knee up and down, just warming up that right hip. It's okay if it doesn't touch the floor, you just keep your knee safe and try to make the sensation, send the sensation towards your hip. Let's switch the leg. Fold your left knee, put the ankle, the foot on your right thigh and bounce your knee up and down to warm up that hip joint. If we have stiff hips, our lower back and our knees are not going to be very healthy. So to stretch the hips, it's very important to keep our whole body healthy and happy. Bring your feet together, knees apart, butterfly position. And again, bounce your knees up and down, as fast or as slow as you prefer. Keep it with the nice feeling of stretch. So try not to push too much. Find the stretch. You can lean forward if that's available and keep moving knees up and down. Don't be too intense. If you feel a lot of sensations, take it easy, slowly. And come back. Let's come to hands and knees position. Shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees. You're gonna lift your right leg up like a donkey kick. And you're gonna start to rotate your hip. Make a circle with your knee. Keep your elbows straight. Try not to lean onto your left side. Start to bring the knee up, and then to the side, to your elbow, and back up like a donkey kick. Try to make the thigh parallel to the floor, and then reverse the circle. Big circle with the hip. So think about your kneecap. Drawing the biggest circle that you can manage. Keep your foot flexed. Continue to rotate the hip. You can change the direction clockwise and counterclockwise, and then start to go to the left side. Lift your left leg, left heel up. Start to make a circle with your left knee. Please be careful not to overarch your lower back or not over lean to the right side. Keep moving. Notice whether one side is stiffer than the other. Maybe it's easier on one side. Keep drawing those big circles with your knee. Try to feel it in your left hip, left buttock. Maybe the right hip as well. The stabilizing muscles on the right side will work too. Work with the hip rotation. Do your best. And then come to hands and knees. Step your right foot outside of the right hand lizard lunge and start to sink your hips forward and down, and start to move your hips side to side as well. So gentle bounces with the hip, gentle rock side to side with the hip. See how it feels. If you feel quite open in the right hip, come onto your elbows. Drop your shoulder below the right knee. And again, you can stay still here, or you can shift and move and breathe. Amazing class for your hips. I promise you will feel much better in your lower back and in your knees after you work on opening your hips. Come back onto your hands. Add again these small bounces with the hip up and down. Lift your right toes up. Spin on your right heel. Open your right knee to the right, to the outside. Take your right hand and push the right knee away from you to the right. And you can start to again rotate and try to kind of drop your left hip to the floor. Keep pushing the right knee away. Just move back and forth, see how that feels. Please be careful with your knee. If the hips are tight, it's easy to just jam the knee where it's not supposed to be jammed, so be careful, no sensations in the knees. And then move the right foot to the middle of your mat, right under your chest. Lift your left knee up. Open your right knee to the right, like almost like pigeon pose, but you're still hovering your hips and your left knee above the mat. And you can start to bounce your hips up and down here just as much as works for you. Keep your right foot flexed. You should feel right outer hip, maybe left leg, not your right knee. Keep bouncing as fast as you can. And then come back, lower the left knee down, extend your right knee, half split position. You can put the hands on the floor, maybe you have the blocks to support yourself. Flex your right foot, hamstring stretch. If you're a runner or if you walk a lot, this muscle tightens up quite fast. So stay here, enjoy the stretch. Pay some attention to this pose. Try to keep your back open, chest open rather. I like to move my foot here, rotate the ankle. It changes the stretch. So you can try to make a circle with your ankle, spread your toes, flex and point your foot. And then let's change the sides. Come back to hands and knees and step your left foot outside of the left hand. Right knee is on the floor, and you can start to shift your hips side to side, even move your shoulders, even add, some upper back, some spine moves here. Put more weight onto your right hand and left hand and left leg. Keep shifting your hips back and forth, and maybe you can come onto your elbows. And again, here you also want to lean onto your left elbow more. We are trying to stretch left hip a bit more here. Stay still or keep wiggling, up to you. Your attention and your thoughts are concentrated on your left hip, maybe the right front leg if you're tight there as well. Keep breathing. Notice the differences, if there are any, between the sides, left and right. And come back onto your hands. Flex your left foot, toes up, up, up. Spin on your left heel. Push that left knee away from you with your left hand. And you can lean back, open your chest to the sky as well, to the left side. And keep pushing the knee away, trying to maybe drop your right outer hip on the mat. And again, up to you whether to stay still or add some bounces, add some moves. Keep breathing and really stay concentrated on the sensations. And then bring your left foot right under your chest in the middle of the mat. Flex your foot, almost like coming to pigeon position on the left pinky toe edge. Lift your right knee up and start to bounce your hips up and down. A lot of stretch in your left outer hip. But be mindful, no sensation in your left knee whatsoever. And you can shift back and forth, up and down. Keep your left foot flexed, toes up on your left foot. Lower your right knee down. Start to come on your left heel. Straighten your left knee, left leg, and come to half split position. Stretch your left hamstring. Add those ankle rotations on the left, same like we did on the right side. See how the stretch changes when you start to rotate your left toes in and out, point and flex. It's a good sequence of stretches and poses after your leg day workout in the gym as well. And from here, you're gonna come to wide-legged forward fold. So open your legs as wide as you can. Come to standing and fold forward as much as you can. Make sure again that your knees are safe and you're feeling the stretch in your inner thighs or hamstrings, not your inner knees. And then from here, you're gonna bring the feet a little bit closer. Open your toes 45 degrees out and start to sit in half squat, side lunge onto your left side. Be mindful about your knees, and then we're gonna switch to the right side, like half squat. Open your right knee out, don't let it sink in. And continue to shift side to side. Support yourself with your hands. You can point and flex the straight leg to see whether it changes the stretch and adds another kind of another stretch. Keep shifting side to side at your own pace. You're trying to stick your hips back. Make sure the knees are safe. Your own pace. If you prefer, you can sit onto side lunge and stay here a bit longer, or if you like to move through and work on the elasticity, move a little bit faster. And then just come to wide-legged forward fold and relax. Let your head hang heavy. Relax your neck, whether you reach the floor or not with your hands. And then from here, we're gonna come to the front of the mat. Open the feet as wide as your mat, toes out 45 degrees. Place your elbows inside the knees and start to push your knees out as much as you can. Feel the inner thigh stretch and start to sit low into kind of squat position, but the emphasis here is on you opening the knees wide, not on you sitting low. Use your elbows, your shoulders, your arms to push the knees out, and you can kind of start to shift side to side if that works. Take a rest, forward fold. Bring your feet together, shake off the legs. It might be intense position if you're stiff in your hips and inner thighs. Relax your neck and relax your shoulders. Now sit in squat, sit onto your butt, and we're gonna come to 90-90 position. So place your left shin parallel to the front edge of the mat. Flex your foot, please. The back leg is also 90 degrees, and you're gonna start to lift your right knee up, right leg up, feeling the right outer hip muscle. It might feel like cramping. That's okay. Keep going. Keep lifting the whole leg up. Continue to move up and down. Don't move your knee. Flex your foot. Bend your knee and move from the right hip. Right hip is doing the work. Flex your toes. Flip your knees to the other side, so you're in 90-90 position, but to the back of the mat. Now your right shin is parallel to the front edge of the mat, and you're gonna lift your left leg using your left outer hip muscle. Flex your foot, the whole leg lifts in one plane. Keep lifting it. Control. Work that outer hip muscle. We have to strengthen it to keep our lower back healthy, as well as knees. Keep moving. I know it's kind of not very pleasant there. And then come back. Come to cross-legged sitting position. Let's start with the right foot in front. It can be in front of the left leg, or you can kind of place it onto your left thigh and start to reach forward until you feel the hip stretching. Relax your upper body, relax your shoulders, concentrate on the hip stretch. So if you feel even mild stretch, stay with it. Breathe and relax. Scan your legs, scan your hips, scan your ankles. See that knees and ankles don't have any pinching sensations. Do you have stretch around your hip, maybe even lower back a bit? Relax your breath. And slowly we're gonna come back and we're gonna switch the legs. So now the left leg in front, or you can put the left foot on top of the right thigh if it's accessible, given that your left knee doesn't have any sensations. And then you're gonna walk your hands forward, relax your head back to the mat again. And it's okay if you cannot reach the floor with your head, forehead. It's fine, as long as you feel the hips stretching, the outer hips, you're good. Stay there and breathe. So try to stay connected with that place of stretch. So your mind, your thoughts are going to the place where you feel the stretch, and you breathe into it. So you can think that you're not actually breathing into it, but when you inhale, you think about that place where you feel the sensation. And then slowly come back, extend your legs forward, straighten your knees and flex your toes so much so that your heels are lifting. open your feet as wide as your mat. Please keep your knees locked here. And then we're gonna start to rotate the whole leg in and out, so you can see that my whole leg is rotating. It's not the ankle rotation, it's the hip going inwards. Kneecaps go inwards to look at each other and away from each other. And you know you're doing it properly when you feel your hip, your outer or inner hip. So keep flexing your foot like crazy. Heels are off the floor. And keep rotating from the hip in and out at your own pace. Good job. Now bring your feet together like butterfly position, but this time the heels, the feet are away from your body, so you have big gap between your heels and your body, like a diamond shape with your legs. And fold forward. You can completely relax down. You might reach your feet, inner arches with your forehead, or might not. That's okay. Again, as long as you feel your outer hip stretching, that's all good. Try to relax here and try to send extra stretch to those hips. Arms, fingers relaxed, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed. You're melting into the pose, marinating. Don't fight it. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you feel open in your hips and relaxed.